Hello, 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 and welcome to Midweek Masterpiece. And today is December 5th, 2024, so we are going to work on some Christmas items. I found this is actually an embroidery design, but I thought, I could turn this into a really cute painting, so I did draw it up a little bit. Not sure if you can see that. I will put the tracer in the comments, or actually attach a file and a picture as well, and all the paint colors we're using and brushes and things like that, the normal. So today I'm going to use white, Cad Red. This is Sap Green. I just really like that. This is a yellow green and a dark brown. Now, any colors will work. And I'm going to use the brown and the red to make maroon. You can have maroon to add to your flowers, to your poinsettias, and other colors, whatever you'd like to see. So there's the colors we're going to start with, and let's get started. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use a 1-inch filbert, and I apologize for my voice. You know how my allergies are, and they're really getting me right now. I think we've got some cedar getting ready to bloom. Gosh, I don't know why. I'm trying to get rid of that shadow. Okay, let's just try this. I think for the background, I kind of like the white. So let's leave the background like it is for now and go ahead and move on with the flowers. So let's change brushes. Sorry about that. I haven't painted this yet, so this is a first round for me. This one, no, it's not soft enough. I need a really nice, we're going to be using the liner brush. And how about, and let's use a round brush, maybe like this, nice fat round brush. And then, excuse me, this is a 1/2-inch brush. So let's start with a round brush, and let's just start with the red. We'll go ahead and get this started on here. I'm just going to kind of get my flowers into play here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Never has to be perfect. And so let's get the red put in. Now these are the little darker ones that come out from the side, so those are going to be a more maroon color, at least for me. So we get these little petals put in here. And of course we will add more detail as we get there. I know some of you paint a lot faster than me and some not so fast, so I hope you enjoy this one. And of course you can jump ahead and you can make these any colors you want. I just decided on poinsettias because of it's December 5th, and it's also my brother's birthday, so I need to drop him a note here. So there's the beginning, and I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Let's go ahead and do all the red flowers and get that started. And again, I'm just using my round brush and a little Cad Red. This is Cadmium Red Medium, and just a little darker than the regular Cad Red. Covers a little better, not much. Red is a pretty see-through color. Oops, kind of get over my lines there, and that's okay because we'll cover that in a minute. And get these little petals put in. Now the poinsettias petals, of course, are never perfect, but they are red and pointed. At least all of mine are. I've seen some beautiful paintings with, purple poinsettias and blue ones and different colors, but I decided I'm just going to stick with the classic today. Let's put this in here. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's been kind of cool here, South Central Texas, so if it's 60 degrees we have to put on our parkas, but it's been in the 50s and 40s of late, and I think we're going to paint this red. And so that's all my red. I'm going to go ahead and rinse that brush out, and now I'm going to dry it off a little bit, and let's go ahead and take a little brown with the red and a little white. Let's lighten that up a little bit, and we're going to make a nice maroon color. And I'm going to go ahead and paint over these little ones here. And it can go into the big ones as well. We'll go back over those too when we give them a little texture, a little depth and personality. And it goes like this. And over here, we've got them here. These are just the little, you know, I think they're the young ones that come out from underneath, aren't they? I'm not real sure. I'm not familiar with how poinsettias grow. I definitely do not have a green thumb. And let's put one more right here next to the leaf. Okay, and over here, this one didn't have any, but we're gonna stick some in here just to give it a little bit color. So I just put one little, just with my brush and my round brush, and just dropped one in between all the red, and rinse our brush here. Okay, now I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to take my excuse me, my liner brush and dip it in water, and I'm going to use brown, and we're going to make it kind of an inky, nice smooth brown there. And with my, I'm going to touch my pinky to the canvas to keep my hand so it's not moving around so much. Keep it steady. And I'm going to barely touch the canvas. Got water coming. Barely touch the canvas. Kind of just go around like where the little tree branches are going. And get these kind of put into place. And up through here. And these are just tiny little kind of dead branches, dormant branches. Kind of just added to it. I kind of liked them. And I think, you know, the more I look at this, we might want to even add a cardinal. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to keep it kind of easy so y'all could have a nice little Christmas painting. And this would look really good even on, gosh, yeah, on our little round wood piece, and use it on the table or anything like that. Let's see, we'll go up here. Be a nice little welcome sign. Go down like this, all the way down. So now you can definitely see all the changes. The brown is really making everything come out and pop. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And these guys are kind of crooked and growing out from each other. And it's kind of satisfying doing the brown branches. I made it really light colors, so I will, oops, that's a leaf. So let's go this way. And down here. And you know, you can change these as they go, make them look like you want them to look. And they could be green. They can have snow on them. Just kind of just any way you want to do it. We might add snow too. I like the thought of adding snow. And really these little dormant branches just kind of take up a little bit of the space. And then of course we'll add the berries and make it prettier. And again, I'm just using dark brown, and I used a lot of water, made it inky, and using my liner brush. And I think that's all the brown. Okay, so let's rinse that out. And now I'm going to get my round brush again, and we're going to use the Sap Green. We're going to start on the leaves. And leaves are usually the pointed leaves. probably need a different brush. This brush has definitely seen better days. It's got some loose hairs running there, leaving some interesting marks, which that's okay too. Go up here. And if it does drag into some of the brown paint, that's okay as well. Just adds a little personality. And let's see, keep going with this Sap Green. I really like this color. It's kind of a, it's not dark like Thicket. The craft paint Thicket is a really lush dark green. It's just kind of a brighter green. Okay, and see, I'm leaving my brush strokes. They don't have to, does not have to be perfect because the leaves are all textured. Uh-oh, you're gonna hear my dog squealing to come in. And go here, get this guy. This is a, I think it ended up being a pretty quick painting. Like I said, I haven't done it before, so this is just new as we go. We will probably change it as we go. I love doing that. But whatever I end up doing, I will make sure the tracer matches it. So let's go up here. I got the brown, and that's okay. Picked up a little bit of that brown paint, and that's fine too. Leave it into the leaf there. And then, oops, got it in the wrong color green. Go this way. And texture, I'm just dabbing it, filling it in. And like that. And go ahead. I went ahead and stayed with this brush since I'd already started with it. But you can make these, you know, outlined and smooth if you want, however you'd like them to be. And there's some leaves. I'm gonna rinse that brush out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's take some of the red and brown again and make that maroon and a little white. Make it kind of a lighter color. And let's kind of go on the outside of the petals a little bit. One side, just to kind of give it a little shadow. And it's real light. And this one too. And just to add a little different color to it, give it some volume and some interesting look, little personality. And then I'm going to use brown and maybe kind of go on the outside edge of a couple of these, give it a little bit of a shadow. And we'll see what that looks like. We might end up outlining them all, I'm not sure. That was a little thick, but that's okay too. And then this one, maybe give it a little shadows on the outside edges here. And maybe in here, because it's almost the same color there. Well, it's a little too dark, so I'm going to go back to my red and I'm going to add a little red to that. Brighten that up a little bit more. And add the brown. Actually, that looks pretty good. So I carried the red and brown around to that one. It is kind of in the shade, in the shadow. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my liner brush and we're going to get it wet and we're going to mix the red and the brown to make the maroon and more brown, I think, than red. Get it a little bit darker, okay? And then let's go ahead and add some veins to the leaves, the petals. And there's some veins in there. And I am just pulling a little line from the middle out and then just pulling some little thin lines off of that, just touching it. just in maroon to give it a little bit of a personality, I like to say, but some of the lines, it's got some lines on it. And if you don't like it, you can paint over it. But I kind of like it has a unique look to it. I am going to fill some of this in red because I think that brown got a little out of hand right there. Let's make that a more red. Okay. And over here, let's add just maybe a couple of lines, because this guy's like kind of folded up off to the side. Alrighty. One color I didn't say we were going to use, and we do need to use, and that's going to be, we need a yellow. So I just grabbed something called Sun Bright Yellow, which will be too bright, I think, for the middle. But let's see what happens if we add just a touch of brown and make that kind of a darker yellow. Just a touch of brown made it darker yellow. And we're going to fill this in. And then what we're going to do is, well, let's go ahead and fill them all in first to make a little bit of that brown and yellow. It just makes a little darker yellow. And I'm just dopping it in there. Daubing my little brush. And then over here, it's down here. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make that brown and yellow. And we're gonna have a lot of water, a little bit of water, not a lot, a little bit of water, make it more inky. Okay, so that's darker. And we're going to put in the little middle part. So they're kind of got a round end and then a line. So I'm just daubing it around and dragging a line out to it from the middle. And I'm going to put little dots in the middle like they're standing up. A little dot and a drag of a line. And then little dots in the middle. Okay. So over here we're going to do the same thing. A little big there, but that's okay. Bring the lines in, just barely touching the lines from the circle to the middle. And then put little dots in the middle of that darker color. It's a little brown and that's okay. And so we're going to add some dots and lines. And I will find out what they're called. I just can't remember what the middle of the flower is called with all the pieces that come out. And this one will just come from up here. Little dots and lines. A few extra dots sticking out there. And then I'm going to put some dots in the middle. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to take some of the bright green, yellow green, and let's go ahead and put some lines in on the leaves and maybe kind of follow where they're sticking out a little bit. So like we'll put a little line here and then see where it's kind of sticking out a little, where they're pointy. And this is a very, very basic poinsettia. And of course you can make the leaves more realistic, however you'd like to do it with the light green. Sometimes I'll just kind of drag it in and maybe even put a little thicker spot here. And this one. It's a nice, casual, easy flow painting. And this is really fun for parties and for those that just want to get together, paint something Christmassy to be able to put in the house. And a little green on that edge there. It's kind of a folded leaf. Can you see that? Okay. Now I'm going to use my round. I'm going to use a smaller round brush like this. A small round brush in the red. And what we're gonna do is, let's put some berries in. So just some red circles. Oh, I don't like that brush. Let's use a smaller round brush. And we'll put some circles, there we go. And put some berries in, wherever you feel like putting the berries. And we're just gonna stick those in here. Just give a little bit of color, personality, growth. And on the smaller ones, I'm just touching it to the canvas. And see how much that just makes everything just pop out. Okay. Maybe a few by the leaf. A few here. I like them with the leaves. I think they're pretty. And I'm just touching it. And I'll make a big one. Just however you'd like to put them out there. Anything will work. Now on the background, I do like this background white. You can always gesso it. You can paint it white. You can paint it blue. Any color you'd like. Okay, I don't want to get too many. I also don't want them too uniform. You know, I need some big, some small. Put a few there. So this is the fun part. This would be really fun with like a shiny red, or it'd be nice to maybe go over with some of the paint that's got the glitter in it. Give them a little bit of shine. But yeah, this is definitely looks good with the red. Put a few small ones. Just touch it. And as you can see, this is really random. I have no thought in this whatsoever. I am just putting out some little berries to give it a little color. And I want it to come to life. Be pretty, shiny, Christmassy. I do think this would look good once it's dry with maybe putting some snow on it. Snow resting on the little berries. And then down here we've got a group of berries that were in there. Make these a little bigger. Put one there. Yeah, I kind of like that. Then you can just kind of go back over and see where you might need some different berries or color. Yeah, I think that looks rather nice. Wait, I see one spot. Always go maybe here and maybe here. Yeah. And you know, I think that's it. So we can always add snow if we want to. We can add a background color, however you'd like to do it. That's totally up to you. Thank you for joining me for the poinsettia painting. And this was my the final look of it with all the little berries and the poinsettias growing in there. And I do like the white background. I'm gonna leave it white. You know, we might go through and add a little snow onto the branches. I'm not real sure. What do you think? So y'all let me know what you think. And if we need to change it, we'll change it and show you how we changed it. But again, I will have below, I'll have the tracer, the colors we used, a picture of what I did, how I did mine, and how it ended just now. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And please post your paintings. I really love seeing them. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon. Bye-bye.